Okay, let's go ahead and get started here, there, folks. Welcome back to another 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strange Bro Jim, and today we are going to be getting back into some case studies, namely the challenge that I wasn't able to get to yesterday. Um, we'll be getting into some video uploads an hour after that, and then we got Warframe at the very tail end of today. So, if any of that interests you, then feel free to stick around. Um, we got ourselves quite a bit to do. So, let me go ahead and get into the, um, some details that, I normally give at the very beginning of these videos, which is first and foremost, um, I am not a part of Pega. They're not endorsing this. We're not having any kind of communication with each other other than, them replying back to my edits. Um, and that's it. Okay, that's about as far as it goes. If you feel like I'm somehow uh, getting a lot of benefit out of it from the company, I'm not. So don't think along those lines. Okay. Um, I'm currently just working on my certification. Okay. Also, I'm not an authorized training partner, nor is this an instructor-led training. Do not consider it as such in either case. Okay. Um, you know, I would have to imagine that the instructor-led training is by someone that knows Pega backwards and forwards, that can answer your questions, and that can teach you everything that you need to know about Pega in order to take the certification and pass it. Obviously, you're going to need to put in some work yourself for obvious reasons. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter. As much as a lot of us might would love to have that kind of thing. We're not necessarily being jacked into the matrix to you know to get um, get instantaneous knowledge or anything along those lines. We're we have to actually put in some work on that. So, um, but uh, now, if you have the money for it, then consider doing the instructor-led training. Okay, because one would hope that they would give you everything that you need in order to take the certification and pass it. Okay. Um, I'm not going to say that it's easy, but I would imagine that it would be probably easier than watching, the videos that I'm posting here, at least one would think. Um, the the amount of time that you're going to have to dedicate to the instructor-led training, is still quite a bit. From what I understand, it's like about like maybe 3 weeks long, and you're doing like 8 hours a day for it. But again, I'm not sure. I haven't taken the instructor-led training through Pega. Okay. I was trained at my from my last job, but it wasn't the greatest authorized training partner. Um, he didn't always answer our questions, and um, he would often say that there was a problem with our computers versus, hey, the program itself was actually slow. Um, so yeah, the we had some issues on that. So um, to the point where I could not get my certification back then, and um, I didn't put in the time and effort to try to um, get it myself. Nor was there any kind of mentorship to really help me per se. People would say, "Oh yeah, we can answer your questions," but um, there wasn't really any kind of like formal mentorship. So, so that's what kind of sucks about my last job. Um, okay, so um, let's talk about um, what I'm going to be covering. Okay. Um, I'm currently going towards my system architect certification. Okay, I need to learn as much as I can about system architect so that when I take the certification, uh, you know, I know that I won't necessarily pass it with flying colors, but I want to do better than what I did last time. Okay, which means I'm going to need to, study it more, know the keywords more, know the definitions more, and have an understanding of Pega. So when I do take on the certification again, um, I'll do better than what I did last time. So at least that's the plan. Okay. Um, Another thing to note is that because the um, system architect is very closely tied to the business architect in that they share the same two missions here. Um, it's probably in my best interest to also take the business architect certification. I mean, the only difference between these two is the fact that there's two modules that are different on the business architect. That's it. That just these two remaining modules after these two missions. That's it. You know, these two modules are not covered in system architect. So after we're done with the two missions, I'll cover the two modules for those of you that are working on your business architect. Um, and then we will proceed on with the system architect. But we'll go ahead and finish off the business architect for those of you that are working towards that. So, um, but obviously we still haven't finished off the two missions yet. So we'll handle that, and then we will go ahead and proceed on. Okay. So we may go on to the senior system architect to get even more details on system architect, because I've often felt that the system architect um, cuts a lot of corners or doesn't really describe things very well at times, and so I often heard that going over the senior system architect kind of fills in those gaps a little bit more. Um, so um, So we may cover that a little bit more. Obviously, it's a lot of time dedication for that, but um, at the end of the road, if I can get, you know, two certifications, if not three, um, then then that'll obviously look good on the resume, and I'll have a stronger presence out there in the corporate world. At least that's the idea. Um, so let's go ahead and get started on the system architect. All right, so we are still in the low code app builder extended. We don't have that much more to go there. We have, I think, this one challenge and then about six more after that. Um, we have the customizing the dashboard. Now, the reason why I didn't do it yesterday is the fact that they said, hey, this is going to take 30 minutes. And if you notice here, there's a lot of different usernames and the like. That's because they're going to want us to kind of change between each of these different roles. Okay. Um, Now, um, also, don't do this. Don't have the same password. Change your passwords. between users. Don't have that. But you know, obviously they have it set for us, because it's just easier that way. But obviously, don't you know set this up as a like a if anything, set this up as a temporary password, like the first time use kind of password, so that the users can change it afterwards. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and reset the instance there. Um, and now for the scenario, during the processing of assistance request cases, a customer service representative may need to request a credit on behalf of the customer. Requests for credits are processed and authorized by a manager using a second legacy system. An integration to the system for credit requests is scheduled for future release. To ensure prompt processing of credit requests, stakeholders want to display pulse notifications on the dashboard so that CSRs can notify managers when a case requires a credit to be issued to the customer. In addition, stakeholders want to track the user performance on assistance request cases on the dashboard using the average duration per flow task report. Following table provides the credentials you need to complete the challenge. So, there is a challenge walkthrough that you can use if you need to get through the detailed tasks. Um, but I'm not going to be. Um, that's not something that I'm going to be focused on. I only use it if I have some issues with the challenge itself. Like maybe, there was maybe a step missing or something along those lines, and I wasn't quite sure what they wanted me to go about doing. So I may use it if that becomes, if that happens, but more often than not, I don't use it. Okay. Use it if you need to, but the detailed tasks, the steps here, should provide you enough to get through what you need to get through. So, um, okay, already I notice one particular problem. Let me go ahead and launch the instance here. Go ahead and launch the instance here. Okay. First thing that I notice, they give us three different roles to log in, right? Um, but they don't state at the very start here, which one to really go into. Now, one could make the assumption that you want the application developer in there, but um, they don't outright state that. Um, so later on they'll switch over to the CSR and then the manager later, but it'd probably be in their best interest if they actually said, or give a note that, hey, you know, we want you to go into the application developer, at the very start. You know, you can make the assumption that it's author, but that's not always something that you should um, guarantee. Okay, so so I'm gonna make a little suggestion down here. Um, so we have used author in the past challenges. Um, fact that two additional users were added to that are able to log into challenge means that um, it should be clarified who needs to log in first, even if it is just a simple note stating application developer is needed for creating the changes for the CSR manager. Uh, uh, Would make the assumption that assumptions can also cause undue unnecessary problems. Okay. So, first things first, we need to log into author and log in. And I'll obviously take a little bit of time. Um, because, you know, while it's like, hey, you have these roles and stuff like that, but I mean, hey, if I wanted, if I wanted to, I could basically say, hey, the manager is gonna go in and do the work, and technically, the manager could, or at least they should be able to. They should be able to do the work as that the application developer can do. Okay, they shouldn't be necessarily limited as to what they can work on. Okay, or at least that's in my particular opinion. Um, they shouldn't have nearly as much restrictions on their particular role or profile to, you know, like if a manager has basically said, hey, you can't code whatsoever, then you're kind of limiting the um, the experience that the manager has if you don't allow them to do any kind of coding. So, um, or maybe they have no coding experience whatsoever. I mean, I've had those kind of managers before, and it's like, okay, well, but um, but still, it's um, you know, obviously, you know, if you're looking at this, it's like, hey, you want to go with the application developer at the very start. But like I said, don't make that assumption, you know. So, they should have like a little note there saying, you know, be sure to log into author, to continue, to do the necessary tasks. you know. So, all right, clicking on preview. In the navigation pane on the application, click dashboard to open the user portal dashboard. Okay. So, okay. Um, right, okay. They didn't use like a full screenshot here of like the entire panel, so that kind of threw me off a little bit, but we're moving on. Okay, so here's our dashboard. In the upper right, click the gear icon to personalize the dashboard. Okay, so here's that little gear, personalizing the dashboard. Okay. On the right, in the Edit Dashboard pane under Slot 1, click Add Widget to display the Add Widgets to Slot window. So, I went, click Add Widget under Slot 1. Okay, so, alright, and then to display the Add Widgets slot window, which, we haven't, um, it hasn't told us exactly what to select yet. So we're just handling what's needed there. So in the Add Widgets to Slot window in the reporting section, so we need to go down to the reporting section. There it is. Select Report Widget. Um, on the social section, select Pulse Activity Feed and then click Add Selected. Oh, okay. I can add both of them. Gotcha. I was about to say I'm like, um, I was a little worried there that like it would only allow for me to only add one of the two, but no, it's allowing for you to add both the report widget and the pulse activity feed. So we're good there. So in the edit dashboard pane to the left of pulse activity feed, click the selection handle and drag the widget to the top position in slot 1. Okay. In slot 1 to the left of the report widget, click the selection handle and drag the window below the pulse activity feed widget. So it needs to basically look like this. So, um, so we're taking that, moving it up here, and then we're taking the report widget and moving it right below. Not the smoothest of transitions, but still, it worked. Um, Pulse activity feed widget requires no further configuration. Okay. On the average duration per flow task report to the user portal dashboard. In the slot 1 widget list, click Report Widget to display the widget configuration section. Okay. In the category list, select Analyze Performance. In the report list, select Average Duration per Flow Task. Okay, so Analyze Performance and average duration per flow task. All right. Now, did that show up on? You guys, I'm having a hard. You're probably having a hard time seeing it because of the fact that my camera is like run on top of it. But what I need to do is, yeah, yeah, it's obviously not showing the full list here. So, we have recent reports, analyze performance, analyze quality, case metrics, monitor assignments, monitor processes, my reports, open cases, predictive monitoring, predictive model monitoring, yeah, reports related to assistance request reports, service level performance, and step performance. So that's what's all there. And then of course on here, you have select a report, chart, which isn't necessarily selectable there. Then you have performance step detail and average hours, average performance time by task, average duration per flow task, timeliness of flow and task, and average processing time in hours by task and flow action. So that's what's on the report there. So um, I know you'll probably have to kind of take my word on it, but you know, it's there. Okay. In the width and height field, confirm that the setting is at 100%, which they are. So we're good there. Click Save to complete the widget configuration. All right. Save. At the top of the configuration pane, click Publish and to publish to default to finish personalizing the dashboard. So publish to default. The pulse activity feed and reports widgets are displayed at the top of the left columns of the dashboard. Pulse and reports. And then, of course, you have the cases and remind B, cases by status. Now, obviously, they don't have any data per se here, but there you go. Um, if you click publish rather than publish to default, your changes are only visible to the author operator, not to the CSR or manager. Um, so basically, when you're here and you do publish, it will only affect, the um, the author profile. Okay, so you know the uh, so the CSR and the manager won't be able to see those changes. Won't be able to see the um, won't be able to see the pulse activity feed or report widget. Okay, so now that could be a good thing. Like if you want to add, you know, certain widgets, specifically for, one particular role, then obviously, you wouldn't necessarily want to publish by default, right? So it's good if you want to have everybody see the information, but there might be some information that you might not want everybody to see. So, all right. Now we confirm our work. So create several assistance request cases, advancing cases to a variety of stages and steps to generate data for the report. If necessary, in the navigation pane, click Dashboard to return to the User Portal dashboard. In the upper right corner of the dashboard, click Refresh icon to update the dashboard widgets. Confirm that the average duration per flow task report displays data. So obviously the report results displayed on your system may vary from the preceding example. Um, so let's go ahead and create an assistance request here, right? And we'll go through you know a full task, or at least I would hope that I can create one. There we go. And nope, don't want you to. Want you to kind of see my location there. Don't want to necessarily dox me. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, okay. It already took care of that. Okay. All right. Nissan Altima red and 2. There we go. There's that. Expiration date. Yep. Submit that. Okay. Selecting the provider. Go. We're just gonna pick some random values there. There we go. Click submit. Okay, no advanced case, and we're all done there. Okay, um, so let's go back to our dashboard, and now we have a flow chart of everything that we were kind of looking at, average duration per flow task. So yeah, in the lower left corner of the browser window, click the user menu and then select log off to log out as author at GoGoRoad. Okay, so you know, so log off. And now we are going to go ahead and log into CSR and have the same password. Obviously not necessarily smart, but you know. Okay, we're gonna go to the dashboard, and there's the same um, there's the same chart, or at least I think it's the same chart. Kind of looks like the same chart, but I'm not 100% sure. So um, let me see. Say something here. And post that just for the hell of it. Let's see. You know, if I post something to post, then you know we'll see. Is everybody else able to see it? Okay. Create a new assistance request case and complete the identify vehicle step. For this verification, the values entered in any field are irrelevant. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the assistance request. Now they want us to go to the identify vehicle step, so which is right there. So I'm going to change the values here. We're going to go ahead and use the same address because I don't necessarily want to, change the address each and every single time. So, um, okay, and I need to complete the step. So there we go. All right. In the summary pane, click Pulse to display the pulse section in the work area of the case. Okay, well, we haven't gotten to that yet. Because we haven't gotten past the payment information. So this is a failure on their part. Okay. Um, let's see. In step 6 of confirm your work. Okay. In step 6 of your work, it didn't mention anything about enter payment information. Which may have come up depending on the customer account. Please add a note about maybe needing to complete payment information first. All right. All right, so we're going to do MasterCard this time. Same card number for some reason. I don't understand. Why would you have that? All right. We'll use a different date this time. There we go. All right. So now we are on the screen that they want us to be. Okay. And as you can see here, in the summary pane, click Pulse to display the Pulse section of the work area of the case. So okay. In the Pulse section, click Post, Private Post to create a Pulse message for a specific user. In the Add Users field, enter or select Manager to address the Pulse message. Okay, well, it hasn't switched on over to Pulse yet. Oh, it's down at the very bottom there. Okay. To display the Pulse section in the work area of the case. They really should probably show that a little bit more. Instead of like saying, hey, or at least, have like a little side by side, showing, hey, you need to have the polls section over here as well, kind of showing, here's the map, there's the polls section, blah, blah, blah. So, we want a private post. In the add users field, enter or select manager. There we go. Under the user field, enter the following text. The service provider was 30 minutes late for this customer. Can you authorize a credit? Okay. So there we go, and post. All right. Log out of the CSR on GoGo Road, and then respond to the pulse message as the manager at GoGo Road user. So we're going ahead and logging out. We're putting in, grabbing that username, posting it there, grabbing the password there, or logging into the user. In the navigation pane, click dashboard to open the user portal dashboard. In the navigation pane, the notification icon displays a badge that indicates an unread notification for the current user. So here's the notification. Also, you know, apparently you don't necessarily need to worry too much about the dashboard because the landing page already has Pulse there. And as you can see, we have the CSR public message and we have the CSR private message right there. But obviously they want you to go into the dashboard to to verify that um, you're seeing the exact same thing. You're seeing the post on both, and you're seeing the report section. Um, and obviously, as you can see, the values have changed with with the two different cases. So in the Pulse widget, click comment to display a text field for replying to the Pulse message. In the response field, respond to the Pulse message by using the following text. Submitted a credit for $50. It should be processed within 24 to 48 hours. So we're going to comment, putting the message in, posting it. Oop. Enter doesn't actually enter in the text. Oh well. Um, there we go. At the right end of the text field, click comment icon to submit the comment. I mean, it should have like the icon kind of circled, but whatever. Log out of the manager GoGo Road. View the pulse message and response as the CSR GoGo Road user. We're going to go ahead and just copy the password because the user should still be within the dashboard. So first off, we're going to go ahead and log out. And then we do the CSR. There we go. Password. There we go. All right. Navigation pane, click dashboard to open the user portal dashboard. Verify that the Pulse widget displays the response from the manager at GoGo Road user. Log out of CSR Google Road. Okay. First off, we have our default, right? But we also have the manager. So it's already there, but they want us to go through the dashboard, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So, and once again, um, same information. So we are good along those lines. Um, so we verified, and now we can log out. Now we're going to log back in for the author. Don't know why, but we will. Um, let's see what's going on here. Author, password. Oh, yeah. Click preview to display the user portal. Okay. Notice how there isn't any messages here from the CSR or the manager because it was, um, or you have the public one from the CSR, but the message from the CSR directly to the manager was a private one, and the comment replying to it is also privated, so hence the author isn't able to see it. So, um, and I mean we've already kind of verified it, but you know let's go to the dashboard and once again verify that it's not there. So we're all good. Okay, so now we verify the challenge. Everything should be perfectly fine. And challenge complete. Challenge complete. All right. So so we are done with that one. So once again, go ahead and use the instance um, for your own work. Mess around with it a little bit more, play around with more of the dashboard, adding in widgets and so on and so forth, adding in different users, so on, all sorts of things. Play around with it a little bit more because obviously they're only giving you like a small window on what you can do. Okay, and when you get out into the real world, they're gonna want you to do more than what they're giving in these challenges. Okay, so play around with it. Okay, use it for your own um, learning experience. Okay, get to know these a little bit more because we are getting closer and closer to the low code app builder extended mission exercise, which is going to kind of put all the challenges to the test. So, um, but that's going to be it for now, there, folks. We are going to go ahead and move on to um, some um, um, video uploads. So feel free to check out the description for lots of links to social media and my team robot. There's a document there that will explain the team, so it's not you know it's not something that you will be confused about. Um, and go ahead and check that out. See if that's something that you might be interested in. But that's where we're going to go ahead and end our Pega development for today. Uh, you know, continue. Come back tomorrow because we have um, the module designing a mobile app experience continuing. So hopefully I'll see you then. But that's where we're going to end this portion of the stream. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again next time. Stop recording.